Hey guys, I was not actually planning to do this stream today. It was something that I thought I might do as a video to kind of get some information out there about the state of the game and stuff. But I decided, since the Q&A that I did ended a little early, that I decided to just do it now. So what I'm going to talk to you about today is actually something that's been happening pretty recently, and I'm going to go through a couple things first. First, I want to do a disclaimer here. Like, the general purpose of this video, and I say it in the description, the purpose of this video isn't to drive people towards botting and to make it okay and to publicize that this exists and that you can do it. That's not my purpose, because really, if everybody in the game is botting, then who's actually playing? Nobody. It's just a bunch of bots. We don't want that. We don't want bots to just be everywhere. It ruins any game out there if it's really rampant. And I play a lot of other games. I've played a lot of games in the past, and whenever there's a big, massive bot problem, it just ruins the game. It ruins the game experience for the players. So my purpose here is not to drive people towards this information, to show it as an option. I know that some people might go in that direction, but the reason I'm doing this video is because the response from, the developers and the game stuff just hasn't been enough. It's something they've been aware. It's something that you've been aware of for quite a while, and not a lot has changed. And here's an example of the kind of feedback you would get if you were reporting this to the customer support. This is a pretty standard response. I had this shared by one of the subscribers for my channel, who really let me know how bad the situation is. So we'll just look through this real quick. You see, can you give us some? I think there was some talk before this that wasn't shared, but it's just I'd like to report that there's a bot and stuff, and it's really bad. And then it goes on to talk about what evidence would you like. I mean, they say, we don't believe you at first. We don't believe that there's actually bots, even though Evony in the past, in the older versions of Evony, has had a history of bots. I mean, it's pretty substantial history. They've had a lot of problems in the past in their older games. And then there's a talk about what kind of evidence would you like? Do you want I sent you the information. There's a Discord for the bot. There's all kinds of information. There's videos. And I mean, if you search bot on YouTube, Evony bot, you'll find a lot of different things. But the one I'm going to show you is just out of this world. Like, it's really effective, and probably, I'm going to say, way too effective that it kind of kills the game in a way. So this player, the one that shared with me, sent them pictures. You can see a bunch of screenshots and stuff, and resources that were in the Discord channel that they shared with Evony support, and just all the evidence out there. And the response from the developers was, can you give us the game ID of the person that you are talking about? Whoops, sorry there. Who is the bot, is what their response was, as if there's one person that is a bot. And then it kind of goes back and forth talking about, I'm not talking about one player. I'm not giving you evidence of a single person that is using a bot. And the complaint isn't about that. It's about the enormity of the problem. It's not a one-person problem. It's a massive problem with many, many, many different players. So the main concern that this player was sharing is that everything that they do, whatever money they spent, even though they're a fairly large player, all the work that they put into the game is kind of negated by the ease at which that this bot is able to play the game for other players. And you're going to see how bad this is when I go through some of the resources here. And really nothing happens, of course. And I will talk about the bot itself, and I'll show you a video of what they advertise of what they can do. But I did want to kind of give this information first on why I'm doing the video. It's not because I want you to go and bot. It exists, but I do want the public to be aware of this. I don't want it to be something that goes through secret back channels that only certain specific people have a huge advantage over everybody else. I want it public so that it's known that it exists, so that it kind of forces the developer's hand that they have to deal with this problem. If they don't deal with the problem, there's going to be a bigger problem. From what I understood is in some of the developer channels, this information was shared with developers, and the response was just to delete posts, to delete the evidence that it happens, to kind of hush everything so that it doesn't spread. But that isn't going to change anything. That's not going to solve the problem. So it does have to get put public so that people know about this, and so that the game developers can't hide from it anymore. They have to deal with the problem. And I know that it's a little bit of a problem that I'm sharing that too, because obviously it's going to recruit more people to this person to get a whole lot more bots out there. But if you are planning to do that, just keep in mind that my exposing this is also going to force the hand of Evony developers to look into it, and so you might be risking yourself as well. I don't know, but I would say tread carefully there. What else did I want to say here? Okay, so we're going to be real here. This is Real Talk with the Miser. This is my new series. I want to talk about issues that affect the Evony community, things that are both good with the game, that are really well designed, and then some things that definitely need to be worked on. And this one is a big one, so I wanted to start the series off with a bang, and I think that I probably will be doing so. But the purpose of this series is really to get the community talking about some of the issues and some of the good things, so that it gives more direction for the developers on what they really should be doing to improve this game, so that it's more enjoyable and playable by all the people that invest into it. Because us paying into it or even playing it, we are in part investors into the game. Okay. The last thing I want to talk about before I go through the actual bot video that was shared with me is, like I said, this is Real Talk. So the reality of this game that the developers have created is there's a lot of cheating. There's just a whole lot of cheating in this game. People have alts, people have auto clickers to do things like spam, Wheel of Fortune a whole lot of time. And really, because those, like this might be a little bit controversial here. Cheating is cheating. It doesn't matter whether you're selling your account, or whether you have alts, or whether you are using an auto clicker to spam the wall for patrol or something like that. Cheating is cheating. But in Evony, it's so commonplace just because of the design of the game that it's so largely ignored. I think, honestly, if Evony decided to start banning alts and stuff, they wouldn't have any players left, because I just think that a huge portion of the Evony population is people's alts. It's just the reality. And to me, personally at least, I don't think that that's as big a problem as this. Yes, alts are a problem, and yes, cheating is a problem in general. But this is so bad that it just eclipses everything else. All right, let's get to this. And I will say that, I've had some idiots on my server and stuff that have called myself, other players, bots in the past. And, you kind of laugh it off. It's kind of an inside joke, like, oh, this person thinks I'm a bot or whatever because of whatever reason. I've heard things like, oh, because they joined a 1 hour rally or some stupid thing like that, or they joined a low-level boss rally. But as you'll see in this video, the difference between just some idiot's idea of what a bot is very different from the reality of what a bot actually is. So yes, there's, I know I'm sharing this information, and it's kind of giving all this information to people that want to be bots and stuff, but The reality is, I'd rather it's a public thing that everybody knows that it's a problem, so it gets dealt with, rather than just the elite players that are having however many accounts and then using the bot for those accounts to just excel above everybody else, and it just makes it for anybody else. It's completely unattainable to get, for example, to the All-Stars, just because some of the people there are just abusing this so much. So let me show you what this is, and I'll start off by actually reading the description here. So I'll click Show More, and the description of this channel says that they have a bot out there, and the purpose is to help you get your life back and save your time and so on. And yeah, the game Evony is incredibly time consuming. It's I mean, we know what it is. It takes a lot of work. But looking at this, it's a very selfish way to look at it. It gets your life back and it saves you time. You could just not play. I mean, if you want your life back and you want to save time. People play because they want to have fun, right? And they want to accomplish things. But everybody else's accomplishments and hard work is getting negated by somebody that has a bot, because this bot can play the entire game for you. You don't have to work. You don't have to worry about not playing during work or when you sleep. It's going to do it all for you. And this is a 2-week-old, I believe a little bit more than a 2-week-old video, and it says in the initial description that it has over 1,000 members. So at that time, it's over 1,000 members that were in their community that were using the bot. But what I have discovered from other people is that it's actually quite higher than that. I've heard, and I've heard a couple different numbers. I've heard several thousand to even up to over 10, 20,000 now that are actively using the bot. I don't know if that means accounts necessarily, or subscriptions, or what it is, but it's, even just the initial 1,000 that they were talking about here, that's a pretty substantial problem for the game. So I do have chat open to everybody, and I know we're going through here and I'm talking a lot of stuff right now. But if you guys want to contribute, just go ahead and type what you think as we're seeing this stuff, what you think about it in the chat, and then we can discuss it a little bit. All right, let's go ahead and watch this. And I've never done this kind of a video before, so it might be a little clunky. You can hear me right now with the microphone, but I don't have my desktop audio on at the same time. So I'm going to have to change some settings back and forth. Hopefully I don't make any mistakes here, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to mute my microphone and put on my desktop audio so you can hear the video. And as we go through and kind of hear what the person describing this bot is talking about, we'll be able to discuss it a little bit and kind of pick it apart and see really how damaging this is for the gaming community that play Evony. All right, let's see. And also in chat, if when I do start playing this, just let me know in chat. Give me confirmation that you can actually hear the video as well, because I do want to make sure that I'm not just playing and it's muted for some reason.
Hello everyone and welcome! I'm excited to present to you an awesome tool that can play Evony the King Return for you. We have over 1,000 members in this community. Please go into the description of this video for the Discord link to join. All you need is a decent computer with modern hardware and a dedicated GPU. For as low as $5 per month, this tool can join rallies, it can farm, it can patrol, it can spin the wheel, and it can solo attack monsters. Additionally, there are special settings for each mode to customize how you want the tool to play. So let's dive into the important bits. Here's the tool itself. It has been created to give you...
All right, so just the very start of it, they're talking about $5 per month. So think about in the future, like what they talked about. They talked about rallies, they talked about farming, they talked about a whole lot of features that they have in this bot for $5 a month. Think about what you get for a $5 pack, for example, in Evony, just for your account. You buy a $5 pack, you get a little bit of stuff, You know, sometimes they're better, sometimes they're not, but you don't get all that much in terms of a $5 pack. You really got to push it to like the 50, and then you start getting stuff that are pretty significant. But just think about this. This is $5 per month that you're going to get all these features.
An easy experience. You can easily manage multiple accounts through this tool and pick your settings. Let's take a look at the Join Rally settings under the Profile tab. Here, you can select which boss to not join, and you can even specify which level of event bosses to not join. There's a lot to go through here, so there are much more details in the description of this video.
Okay, now that's ridiculous. So like I said before, somebody called myself and some other players a bot because we joined some kind of like a werewolf or some crap like that, a 60-minute rally. You know, those kind of things happen to players, especially when you're tired at 3 a.m., that sort of thing. But this right here, this setup just shows you how the misconception of some people that think that people are bots because they're bigger players is so different from the reality. The reality of a bot is that it can make it can make a pretty good decision on what to join and what not to join. You see in this video so far, they're talking about how they can avoid bosses, they can avoid you know, event bosses. You can just say, I don't want to join these ones, and the bot won't do it. But in reality, in real life, for real players, people make human errors. I mean, there's times that I'm playing Final Fantasy 14 or World of Warcraft or something like that, and I have BlueStacks open on my other screen, and I see a rally, I just click, join, and I don't even look at what it is. I mean, it happens quite a lot. I'm just, I've got my focus on other things. I have kids, I have a family, so sometimes I'll just click, and I'm not really paying attention to whether it's a 60-minute rally. That's the reality of it. Humans make those errors. Bots do not. So it's a pretty huge advantage. And this is something that can run 24/7, joining ideal rallies of boss 14, boss 15, event bosses, and so on, with no downtime, no consequences, and it's, you know, it's utter perfection is what it is in terms of joining boss rallies. And I did see a comment from somebody there. It kind of disappeared here because I was talking. It's kind of difficult, but if you see an alliance with members joining a rally at the very same time, that's pretty telling. Yeah, you know, there's that is something to be said. I don't think that's necessarily indication of a bot, but that could be indication of people that have multiple accounts open on the same window, and there's lots of things that that they might be doing. Maybe they've got like 5 instances open and they are sending all 5 at once. You know, that is cheating for sure. I don't think it's the same thing, but it could be. You know, there are they could be running a bot, they could not be running a bot. I don't know, but I don't think that is necessarily evidence on its own. But you know, it could be. It very well could be either way. And like I said, this isn't a 1,000 person problem anymore. It's not a couple hundred person problem. It's, I think, from what I hear, in the tens of thousands problem. And that's, if you consider the population of Evony, that's getting to some pretty substantial numbers. And you can probably imagine that a lot of the 10,000 or 5,000 or whatever it is are upper tier players that are in All-Stars and so on all across the map. So that's pretty worrisome. Like I've never made it to All-Stars. I've never made it, even though I'm about 4 billion power. And it's not that I don't have excellent generals and so on, and I'm in an excellent alliance. It's just really hard to get there. But if you have these kind of advantages, it's, you know, pretty different. Okay. Let me read some of the other ones. Why no one asked Evony to put update patch notes in game, and okay, that's not really on topic here, so I'm going to continue. But they do updates. It's just a little clunky of a system. It goes through the mail. All right, let's continue here and see what else we have to worry about here.
Here, we have the black market settings. The black market is an amazing way to fill up on stamina and tributes. About 2 hours and 100k gems will refill your stamina to the max 9,999. Here's the farming section.
All right, so myself, I use black market to get tributes, or I used to back when I was not Monarch 35. But it's such a pain in the butt. The black market really is a pain in the butt. You have to refresh and refresh and refresh. But if the bots can make those decisions and find specifically what it is, bots and patrol, or black market and patrol are probably some of my most hated features in the game. I hate patrolling. It's the worst. And black market isn't any fun either. And you can spend hours and hours and hours and get very little reward. But, that's for a human. If a bot's doing it, then, I don't even know what to say here. This is who's playing.
Settings. For farming, you can pick the levels and titles you want. Here's the boss finder settings. Using multiple accounts.
All right, I kind of want to go back to this. I'm going to scroll back to where they were talking about farming because they went over that really quick, and that seemed pretty massive.
Settings. For farming, you can pick the levels and titles you want. Here's the...
All right, that was real quick, but so what I'm seeing here is that if you're using this bot, it will do farming for you, like tiles, like resource tiles. It'll do all your gathering for you. You can choose what tiles you want, what levels you want, and it will do it for you. What? So, I'm thinking in terms of one account, right? But there are people that will have 10 accounts, or I think somebody in chat just said somebody that has 20 accounts. Can you imagine 20 accounts, 10 accounts, whatever, that are constantly gathering, that are producing in city, that are constantly gathering? It's unbelievable. I don't even know what to say here. Something like this completely kills the game. It's something that has to be addressed, or there will be such a big difference between people that are botting and people that are not botting. They have to find a way to address this problem because you look at the difference between some of the top players and some of the ones that are lower players. And, I know a lot of people spend a lot of money, and I don't spend a lot of money. And people ask me a lot how I can get so big, and there's a couple of reasons. I don't PvP, period. And a lot of people play this game to PvP, and if I did world PvP and I fought a lot on the map and stuff too, I would be much smaller than I am now. But that's my play style. That's what I choose to do. I like to do safe PvP where I'm going to get my troops back because I don't like losing stuff because I'm not going to pay to get it back. And there are people that pay, and that's really, it's fine if you want to pay. Support the developers. They're, out there for a purpose. We know it's a pay to win game, but it's no longer a pay to win game. Now it's a bot to win game. That's the difference. We came into this game looking at this thing like, oh, okay, I'm not going to be number one because I don't buy a lot of stuff. I don't pay a lot of money. I'm an average player. And maybe with some hard work, I can get somewhere, maybe in the top whatever. But realistically, I'm not going to spend $100,000 on this game. And some people will, and they're going to be way better than me. There's no question. I'm not even in the top 1,000. I'm not even in the top, I don't even think top 5,000 in terms of size and account development and so on. But there are people that are able to take advantage of something like this for $5 a month. $5 a month. And it'll just eliminate everything that I have done in the last couple of years, or that other people have worked on. And it's not that cheating isn't known to be in the game. It's been in the game forever. But this is 10 steps past average cheating. This is way beyond. It's making decisions for you as you play. I have less a problem with people that have alts and people that are using clickers and that kind of stuff. I have less a problem with that because you are doing it. You are doing the work. But something like this where a machine is making decisions for you and you don't even have to play the game anymore. Just turn on the bot, go on vacation. It'll do your bubbles. It'll join your rallies. It'll farm for you. It'll do your black market. It'll do whatever you want to do for $5 a month. Let's continue.
Boss Finder settings. Using multiple accounts spread approximately 100 kilometers from your hive, you can spot certain bosses. More accounts equals more bosses spotted. This greatly helps your alliance. Now let's see it in action. I'm going to show you the most popular feature, the Join Rallies mode. Additionally, let's patrol on one of the accounts and do Wheel of Fortune on another at the same time. I'm currently entering the proper ports for each account. You will learn about what this means when you read our guide on how to set it up. It's pretty easy. Now you can see, Patrol and Wheel of Fortune and joining rallies has kicked off. Notice that the join rally...
Okay, this is ridiculous. So not only is it doing whatever it wants to do on the game, but it can do different things for different accounts at different times. So it's like you're hiring a bunch of clones to play the game for you. You're not playing it anymore. You're not doing it yourself.
Mode is doing something special. Under profile settings, I'd set it to consume in-city resources and to use our 24 hours resources speedups. Don't worry, it will only consume the speedups if the time is up. There are plenty of cool features on this tool. This is just the beginning in becoming a much bigger player, if you aren't already. Now, jumping ahead, we wait for some rallies to show up. Here's one.
I like that little jab. It's your first step in becoming a bigger player, if you aren't already. Like, I mean, to me, it just sounds like, and the way that I see it, I might be completely wrong. I might be wrong, but I think that a lot of people that are in the upper billions or, whatever, that especially in newer servers that haven't been in the first 100 servers and they've been around for 3 years playing this game or 4 years playing this game, that have had time to develop their account that much, especially the ones in the newer servers that are many billions. I will be shocked if everybody there is innocent. I will hang up my hat and will shut everything down because I will be so blown away if that is the case, but it's not. The reality is there's a ton of people that are botting all over, and it happens in the lower servers too. I mean, people are definitely doing it in the first 100 or 200 servers in the first continent and so on. But all the later servers and stuff, if they're billions and they're so developed, it's not because they spent a lot of money necessarily. It's not just that. Like, they spent a lot of money, sure, yeah, absolutely. But it goes well beyond that. And do you honestly think that the developers don't know that this is happening? That they don't know that this amount of botting is going on and that so many of the top players in the All-Stars and so on are just rampant cheaters? They know. They've been told. They know that people are cheating massively, and they know that the cheating goes well beyond just having alts or just having a clicker and stuff and doing extra work. Not that that's okay, again, but this is 100 times worse than that. This is game breaking, and they know it exists. They've been told. They've been told again and again and again. And as you saw in the very beginning of the video, that people are starting to ask for refunds and stuff because it kills the game. And I haven't invested that much myself, so I'm speaking in terms of other people. But my mentality here is somebody that spent money on this game is going to be thinking, well, I spent $1,000 on this game over the last couple of years, and somebody can spend $5 a month and get so much bigger of an advantage than my $1,000 did. That's pretty worrisome.
bot isn't joining the rally blindly. It will record the time left, so it won't join a ghost rally. It also will only join a rally if you can march to it. And there, we have joined. Now, let's do a quick summary on what this tool is. Notice the name has SMART in it. This tool uses machine learning libraries to figure out what is happening and what to do. It won't do anything blindly. This goes for every mode. For example, patrol mode will only patrol valuable items. Rally mode will only join based on your settings, and that it is a valid rally to join. Wheel of Fortune will spin until you run out of tokens. And even more. We have over 1,000 active users currently using the tool. For as low as $5 USD per month, you can set this up on your own Windows machine. There is a 3-day trial included to make sure that it works for you before purchasing.
All right, so just to recap here, my opinion here is cheating, but something that plays the game for you, that makes decisions. You heard all this stuff that it does. You know, I know of people that, you know, for example, will make a script that go to patrol, and that the script will just click gem patrol 1,000 times. Gem patrol, gem patrol, gem patrol. You're buying garbage and you're buying good gear. You're getting stuff, but it's not a very effective thing. That's cheating. It is. Let's be honest. That's automation. That's cheating. But the difference between that and something that makes decisions, that can refresh and analyze what's on the screen and say, that's not worth it, that is, I'm going to pick these up, is vastly different. It's so bad. And it does that for pretty much every mode, everything in the game it will make decisions for. They said $5 US a month. That's all it costs. $5 a month to have 30 days, 31 days of just insane advantage over everybody else. Insane advantage. And then they said 1,308 members. I personally have not gone to this Discord. So this is all secondhand information for other people that have visited to check things out and see how bad it is. But what I have heard is if you go to this Discord and you look at the people that are requesting the 3-day free trial and so on, the amount of people that have requested it in the last couple of weeks since this video came out is unreal. And then there's some kind of a system in there. Let me go back to this thing. There's some kind of system in there where every green check mark of the person in that thing is a confirmed download of the bot. And that there are like 1,308 members 2.5 weeks ago, whenever this came out, that it's way higher now.
Additionally, we have an active developer who currently maintains and takes in feedback and is constantly improving on the tool. Please join our Discord community to find out how to get this tool and learn more. The link to the Discord is in the description. I hope this tool will help you get your time back and that you may enjoy the fun parts of the game.
This is the Oyo Personal Gym. I've sold over 100,000 units.
See, I knew I did. I knew that was going to happen. What I was saying is I didn't know whether I should release this video. I didn't know whether I should do it. I heard about it about a week ago, and I wasn't sure whether I should actually bring this to light because if you look back to this video, it's after 2.5 weeks, it's 1,113 views. since August 24th, and we're what, September 12 right now. 1,000 views isn't that big of a number. I have some videos from 2 days ago that are about 1,000, or 3 days ago that are pretty close to 1,000 views. It's not a big number, considering it's something so massive. And I'm going to be driving traffic to them. I'm going to be giving them business. So they should be saying, thank you, Miser, because you're giving us business. But that wasn't my point. My point in sharing this information to you was not to give them business. It's going to happen anyway. This bot is being shared around. People are aware of it, especially people that are upper tier players that are in these secret groups that share information and share resources and so on. They know about it. It's known. It's not known for the average person. The average person doesn't know the level of problem that this is becoming. It was something that was small, and now it's something that is growing exponentially to be some kind of a massive problem that will really break this game if they don't change something. And my thought on it, in terms of game development, is that the only way to stop a bot is to make it so it's useless. The only way to prevent this kind of thing happening, like for example, let's look at the farming. The only way to stop farming and alts and so on to, from being as effective as they are, is really to make it so that it's not something that is useful. They have to change the system of the game. And I don't mean these ridiculous kind of things, gathering limits and so on that they put in. They don't work, and they never will. Something like that is not going to work. The only way that can actually stop players from getting resources by transferring from alts or by stealing from alts or whatever is to make it so that those things don't happen. You can't steal gems. You can't steal gold. Those things don't happen because you can't take them. So those aren't as big of an issue. You can take resources, and I like that. I like that part of the game. But I would rather, personally, not be able to take resources from a player than to have the entire game destroyed by bots. That's me being honest here. I would rather that resources are something that you have to gather on your own, that you have to produce on your own, or find some other kind of ways to implant resource generation in the game, and then remove it from player to player combat. I would be fine with that as long as things change to eliminate the advantage of someone having a bot. Because really, there's no way anyone can compete with somebody that has 20 accounts that is running farming bots all on these 20 accounts 24/7. They're going to have a ridiculous amount of resources, and it's going to be an unattainable thing for any other player to catch up to that player. That's the honest truth. The only way to change it is to completely alter it so that it's not something that can be done. They're not going to be successful trying to track people down that use a bot. They're not. Companies have been fighting bots for decades, and they've never been successful. Companies way bigger than Evony have not been successful. Evony's not going to be able to do it. They don't have, I'm going to say they don't have the skills, they don't have the knowledge, and they don't have the desire to actually do that. The only way that will happen is if they change the game. So that's my thought. That's my real talk for today. And I hope that it kind of enlightens some people on some of the issues. And this series is all about that, to talk about some of the issues and also some of the good things in the game, to get us talking as a community on what we might do to provide direction for the developers, because in some ways they seem kind of lost. They do some fantastic things, and then they do some things that just make you shake your head. And hopefully some of the feedback will give them some direction on what people care about. People, in my opinion, and I'm sure in lots of other people's opinions, don't want some massive players with 100 accounts and bots running on all these accounts to have that big of an advantage over other people. That's it. Real Talk with the Miser. Thanks, guys. We will see you next time.